Hey everyone, and welcome to Half and Half, the show where we're half brothers,
Who half agree
half the
half the
time.
time. Yeah, we
Yep.
do. Okay.
Well, um, Justin, what's been going on with you lately?
Um, I was in a real pitfall of emotions. And so I had a birthday the other day, which was pretty cool. And then the day after that, I drove up to see you,
Yeah,
which was awesome. It was a really
it
good time.
was.
Had some dang good tacos and some dang good pizza. Everything except the company was pretty great. No, I'm
Oh.
just kidding.
Oh. Oh.
We should have, and we talked. We should have recorded there, man. That would have been
Yeah.
perfect, but it's okay. Then I kind of just came back, been working. Not a whole lot to update besides that, but just rocking and rolling, man. What about you?
Uh,
Rocking and rolling. I'm so white.
yeah. Not much. I just been doing stuff on the restaurant. We're actually thinking about opening up everything tomorrow. It's kind of scary because when we're trying to keep enacting social distancing and we run a buffet, which obviously like just punches social distancing in the face. Um,
Yeah,
and so we're trying to figure out logistics of how to do that. Obviously, like I want to have somebody that serves the food instead of people serving themselves, so that I'll have one set of gloves
right.
touching the spatulas and stuff that I was going to be changed out all the time, and then I gotta get somebody on like the salad bar to do the same thing, plus a busser, plus a dishwasher, plus somebody to get to go orders, plus somebody to ring people up, plus a cook, and it's just like I'm kind of nervous. I'm nervous that we're gonna get slammed and we're not gonna be able to keep up with it. And I think people are gonna be understanding, but you always have those couple people that just kind of have their hissy fit,
Just a couple of Karens, man. Just a couple of Karens.
That's racist.
If anything, it's sexist, but that's all right. I'm kidding. Sexism is not all right. The joke is all right. You can
Thanks for the
you can edit
clarification.
you can edit that part out if you need to.
I definitely won't.
Okay.
Cool, 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 cool.
Welcome to our Discord. No. Half and half. We're half racist and half sexist. Half the
No, we're
time.
not. No, we're not.
We shouldn't have recorded this late. I'm in another realm.
Yeah,
No, we're just joking. We're not.
it is. It is pretty late for us. Generally, we try to record around 8 o'clock, and right now it's 10:43. And
Which isn't
so
even that late, but
it's
we're
not, but
hardworking boys.
yeah. And actually, just a little tidbit on the background. I actually just now uploaded our stuff onto YouTube and
Yeah,
scheduled the dates for our first videos to post. And so, yeah, what is this? The episode 5 or whatever? You
something
know,
like that.
we just wanted to make sure we had like a little backlog just in case we needed to have anything came up. But I have those scheduled to come out Mondays at 2 p.m. and I think I'm going to keep that going. So if you're a fan of our content and you're a fan of the show, just check back at Mondays at 2 p.m. We should put out something every week.
Be there.
Yeah, I was wondering.
So
I thought your mic muted for a second.
I
I'm
mean,
just
just
looking over at you, and you're
I
like,
mean, I'm not gonna talk about. I don't need to.
"All right."
It's a good thing it didn't. It's a good thing you don't release it at 2:30 though, because that's
Yeah,
when I go to. That's when I go to the dentist.
that's the best time to
Yeah,
go to the dentist.
right. Like I would have to go at 2:30.
Exactly. Thank you.
Right. Because when the tooth is hurty, I gotta go to the dentist. All right, this is gonna be a great episode. Let's dive in.
Okay. So this episode, actually, this episode stems off of a discussion that Justin and I had at the end of the last episode,
Yeah, we did.
and we were just kind of like talking after the show. Oh my, I had a little cutout there, but we were just talking after the show, and Justin was like, "You know what? I think that murder in self-defense is the most selfish act you can take." And I
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to elaborate on that any?
I mean, yeah. If we're like diving into to our conversation, sure. Like, I think that um, selfishness is putting your own wants, needs, or desires above that of the other. Um, and so when it comes to self-defense, murder, you are removing that which is most precious, I guess. You only get one of them, right? You're removing that, at least in most Western thinking. I want to dispel anybody of reincarnation or whatever. But you're dispelling that opportunity because you don't want to have that opportunity taken from yourself. And so I think that it is quite selfish to say, no, my life is worth more than yours.
Do you look at the same thing for? This might be a bad analogy. It just came off the top of my head.
It probably is. So.
Okay, thank you. But do you think that it's kind of the same thing about like you incarcerating people or like sending somebody to jail? You're valuing your time over theirs, kind of in a way. Like I feel like you can put that into a lot of different scenarios. Every time you go to the grocery store, do you feel like you're being selfish because you're buying food for yourself instead of for somebody else? Something along those lines.
No, I don't, because when you buy food for yourself, you're not removing the opportunity for the other.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you're like, you could be using that opportunity to help somebody else, but instead you're using it for yourself.
Yeah, like I think there's a huge difference between violence and buying groceries, right? Like that, I think you have to go down, you have to go quite far down the stream to get to where that would even insinuate part of removing life, I think, right?
Yeah. Another thing was that I feel like it takes away some responsibility from like you as the person in the home that's being invaded. Some of the responsibility for, I guess, a lot of things is taken away the moment that somebody like imposes themselves into your life, I guess, without want.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because I agree to some extent, like we can like boil this down into like selfishness, but my point previously was that you can boil everything down to selfishness.
Sure.
And so looking at
yeah. Well, like for what it's worth, like real fast before you progress on that, I completely agree. The way that my Christian worldview, I completely think that like if you have two shirts, you're removing one from your naked neighbor, right, which exists. And if you really want to get to like real affluency, if you have two homes, right, you remove, which it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I have more than one shirt, right? Like I say that, but I have many more, much. I have a lot more than one shirt, right? And so like I agree that it is on the verge of unethical to have like a lot of something that especially if you're not giving some of that as well. So I agree that pretty much anything in abundance is a form of selfishness.
Yeah. So do you think that I don't know, because I again, like I said, like I can boil this down into where like I agree that it is a selfish act, but I don't want to I don't feel like there should be any negative connotation alongside of that. Like alongside.
You don't think there should be any negative connotation
for defending yourself? No, I don't.
Oof, that's intense. That's intense.
No.
Man, yeah, that's where we're gonna fundamentally disagree, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, so just to clarify, defending yourself, as in like your life is literally in danger. I am not going to excuse people that shoot black people in the streets because they think that they have a gun in self-defense.
Right, or they were just jogging innocently in the neighborhood.
Not a big deal.
If we're going to say timely with this.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that little caveat in there because I don't think that all forms of self-defense are the same. But I do think that there is some, like, if somebody, like, I feel like somebody has given up their right, their human rights at some point. Not no, I don't know. This is getting I don't want to say that.
Doing doing something wrong removes their humanness. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
humanity.
You should stick with that.
No, yeah, because that's an easy point for you to defend. No, no. Y- they give up something though. They do. They give up some rights by
Sure.
breaking in.
Sure. And which is why incarceration is a thing, right? To bring that back around to your point earlier.
Yeah, but incarceration. So you have a right to live. Do you disagree with that?
No, I completely agree.
Okay.
God given and constitutionally given. Let's go.
Yeah. So if you believe that you have a right to live, then don't you think that?
Oh yeah, I especially think that other people have it. That's the whole. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Really,
That's not where I'm going with that. I'm trying to really think this through.
I'm just joshing with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a touchy. It's a hard subject to figure out because I don't know.
Sure, I can do some talking here and some
Okay, good.
cross examination on my end. So, let's put it this way. Yeah. So, like you said, I like your clarification. It's like true self defense, right? It's not like we're saying like you are literally in danger. There's no question about it, right? And you, I don't know. Let's put it this way. What is the most honorable thing to do?
The most
Right?
honorable thing to do is
Yeah.
but you're okay. So whenever what I'm about to say has a lot of caveats in it because you're not always put into a position to where you can think this through and make the most honorable decision. You're not always.
Sure you are.
You think that you're going to be able to. So like that's like the equivalent to being like, okay, you're like literally like on death's door, and I have like some like hard arithmetic for you to do.
No, it's not the same because I think that you can. Well, okay. The only way that would be the same to me is if I was like studied arithmetic my entire life, right? I think you can align yourself to like I know how I would respond because I've aligned myself in a certain way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like similarly, I've never met LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
And I always go to LeBron James for any analogy ever of all time because he's the GOAT. But like I've never met LeBron James, but I know how I would react if I did see him, and it wouldn't be professional, right? I wouldn't be like, "Oh, LeBron, it's nice to meet you." I'd be like, "Oh, dang, that's LeBron James," right? And I'd be really nervous, and I would get nervous sweats when I talk to him, and that's fine, right? But I think you can know how you would respond. I think you can prepare yourself for that response, especially if it's submission, right? Like I think it's like I could easily prepare myself for submission.
So do you feel like it's the same thing? So like let's say somebody breaks into your home, you assume that they're dangerous. I mean, just to not go into more detail, and so you keep a gun at your house. And I'm just saying the proverbial you. Yeah, and so you keep a gun at your house or something like that, or you keep a weapon of some sort, and or you even just threaten it. You just say, "Hey, I have a gun," and like you're not looking at them. You're just shouting down the house. You know, "Hey, I have a gun. I know you broke in. You need to leave, or I will shoot you." They continue to press. Sure. Have they not made that decision themselves?
No way. At that point, at that point, the Salem witch trials are the same, right? No. We've decided you are a witch. You have continued to not disprove that you are a witch.
No, that's like that's like me saying no. What you're comparing to is like I walk up to the intruder and I shoot him in the head, and as I'm shooting him, I say, "If you live, you're clearly innocent."
No, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Salem witch trials were. We're gonna start putting stones on you, and if you're a witch, then you're gonna be able to live through this. You know.
Yeah. Which is awesome. We should do that. I came on Snap.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Demonetization already.
Yeah, for real. No, okay, so that's a fair point. But let's put it this way. Like, it's not... No, they didn't make the decision. They didn't pull the trigger. You're still just as culpable. You have just as much ethical responsibility in that situation. Like, just because you give someone a warning shot doesn't alleviate that, right? Like, why is that fair? Like, you don't get to just do whatever you want to because you gave him a warning shot. Like, if you take one step closer, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. I'm gonna
Yeah, I would
rob your house, and then I'm gonna burn your house, and then I'm gonna go and take all of your funds away from you, and then I'm gonna kill every person you've ever known and loved. Then take another step towards you. Well,
that's ridiculous.
No, but I'm saying, like, I'm gonna take that path. Like,
but that's
because he gives someone a warning shot doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, so it'd be completely different if you were on the street than in your house. And the idea behind it is to like set like very, very clear expectations for like, you need to leave my house right now or there's going to be consequences. And
which is still true with me.
Okay. And so I think that at that point though, like, because in my honest, like, my viewpoint, if that happened to me and somebody was in my house, I would do whatever I could to not actually kill somebody.
Right.
But I would not feel guilty if like I like accidentally did. I feel like I might. I don't know, but I really don't know, because I'm like pressed into a situation where I had like very limited outcomes, and I had to like pretty much draw my own path.
Yeah, for sure. I think that and this is, if we're going to be transparent, this is really hard to separate from my Christian worldview, right? Mm-hmm. This is overwhelmingly difficult for me because it is aligned within the model of Christ. Mm-hmm. And that's what motivates this. That's what pushes this. That's what gives this all motion for me. And I'm not going to do a sermon here and talk about the wonderful sacrifice of Christ. Like, that's not the point of this conversation. Though it would be a really good sermon. I'm just kidding. That sermon's been preached many a time. But like, when I think of the most honorable thing to do is sacrificing. Like, sacrificing is like, it's honorable when someone gives to charity. Why? Because no one told them to. No one makes you do it, but you decide to take money out of your wallet and give it to people in need, right? Mm-hmm. It's honorable to whatever. And like, those people in need could be, there's a lot of things that come with poverty, right? You've got higher drug addictions, you got all these other things, right? And it's like, that doesn't mean that they're going to use those opportunities well, right? It doesn't mean that. And so I think, like, similarly, like, I'm not going to value you lower than I value me. I'm not, I'm going to do my very best not to, at least, mm-hmm. And when given an opportunity like this, that's so black and white, it literally is a conversation of who do you value more? That is the only question in self-defense. That is it. I mean, like, and I get like the family aspect. I truly do. Like, we can go down that path a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's honestly, whenever you're ready to win the argument, that's probably where you should go. Because that's the hardest one for me, being a married man now. But like, I would just have to believe that who I am as a person is why my wife married me, and she knew this ahead of time, right? And it's like, this is who I am, and I'm going to stay true to who I am. I'm going to be the best version of myself as possible at all times, whether I'm grocery shopping or whether I'm alone at my house or whether someone else is in my house trying to shoot me. And I think the best version of myself is one that's fully sacrificial to the point of death.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's go down the family route.
I'll give you the alley-oop on how to win this one, right? Like, but like, how do you feel about what I said, though? You're allowed, like, not necessarily in district, you don't have to argue with it necessarily, but like, you can say you liked it, didn't like it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like obvious that like you would. So honestly, it's like the complete like retort to like a Christian worldview on this subject would be that you as a youth minister are more prone to leading people to Christ, who is like, and that's like the more of the goal of Christianity. And so by like devaluing yourself less than the person you're also not like looking out for the future of humanity in a way.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, fundamentally does. I should stop saying fundamentally. That makes it sound so rude. I fundamentally disagree with you. You are fundamentally an idiot.
You're wrong.
No. Yeah, like, I think that you have to, like, if I don't want to go down that rabbit trail because we really get into some like Christian ethics stuff. Yeah. But just like for what it's worth, really quickly, I would say that I would have to believe in the timeliness and the sanctification of God. and that like he is able to like me, like my witness. I'm bearing a witness here that's going to be a story told a lot longer than just my immediate impact of these kids, right? I become a martyr, I guess, of sorts for what I believed in. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I don't know. It just and like my view is similar, I guess, in vein of what I was saying though, is like um I don't know, like I just keep going back to like you have like forfeited some rights whenever you like take the you like take the step to like actually invade somebody's home, um, and
and I agree with that for what it's worth. I
yeah,
agree with that statement.
and so yeah, I guess like fundamentally it is me like valuing myself more than the other person, uh, but based on like what's in front of me. It's not. Um, do you think that? Oh no, I don't know if I want to go there. I
Well,
don't.
okay, let's say this. Like, it may not be the best thing for your argument, but go there. You know, for the sake of the
Yeah.
conversation, so our listeners
Well,
and viewers can
so I
partake
think
in
I
it.
think I think I'm okay with going there. I had to think through it for a second. You know, I
You're not
think I.
allowed to. Your conversation has to be fully transparent in the moment. No mistakes are allowed. That's how social media works, man.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let me just tweet some
And
crap out.
yeah, they'll be brought up in 35 years against you. Be ready for
Yeah.
that.
Good. I'm ready. Can't
Yeah.
host the Oscars. But
Cancel culture sucks.
and so do you think that some people in society have more worth than others?
I think that I have to say no. Right? No. Like I truly, like in my heart of hearts, I say no. Like that's a belief that I have, but I wouldn't say it's a practice, right?
Okay, so
Does that
I
make
think
sense?
yeah, I think that they do. I think that there are differences. I think that people are some people are worth more than others, not like monetarily, but you know, like that's obvious. But you know, like I actually,
Right.
but as like humans,
Right.
um, but as far as what they contribute to society. However, my caveat to that is that nobody should be treated differently.
Yeah, that's interesting. Would you say like so? I guess like actually, yeah, I would actually fundamentally say every person has the same value because I would believe that personhood is invaluable.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I would attribute that to like how well they contribute to society.
So you're more or less human based off how you contribute to society.
Yeah, but that can be in multiple different ways. I think,
That's an intense thing to say.
and there's some like it's not as black and white as I'm putting it
No,
out
for
there.
sure. Like it's yeah.
Because like there's a difference between somebody that's like homeless or houseless because like they got like screwed by the system in some way or something like that,
Right.
or just like they had like um, a lot of like improbable things happen to them that like just added up and put them in that situation versus somebody that you know takes advantage of the system and like literally doesn't do anything but just feeds off of like taxpayer dollars or something like that, or takes advantage of like different things or scams people or something like that. Those are two very fundamentally different things. They contribute to to society in almost the same way, but those are two very very different things that I would like to make clear. Is that there are some little like niches in that pocket of like people that I feel like don't contribute to society, and I don't know. I there is like negative connotation there, you
For
know.
sure. No,
Yeah,
you're saying some rough stuff. Yeah, I'm letting you. Yeah,
but
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying it's rough.
I think that that's the reality of the situation we're in. You know, like that there are people
Yeah.
that take advantage of the system. There are scammers out there. There are people that like just want to feed off of somebody else
Like,
without. Oh,
would you
go ahead.
say parasitical?
Yeah.
Right. I'm slightly convinced that's like our favorite movie. Like as a combined group, we both love that movie so
we just
much.
need to have a watch party one day where we watch it together on stream
That'd be
or
so
something.
fun.
I would.
Except it's like not a talk through movie. It's like I'm not saying a dang thing.
Well,
They're
we've
just saying
both already
it's
seen it, you know, so like we could pause it.
that's true. That's true. So much freedom. Um, yeah, man. Like I think I disagree. Like I do disagree with that. I think that Like if
You
you go through it,
you disagree with like the first part of like your worth is based on your contribution to society,
right? Yeah,
or do
that's
you
where it
disagree
starts for
with
me.
like more than just
No,
that?
I fundamentally disagree with it. No, no, I do disagree with like the beginning of it. You're right. Like, especially because that can be so up and down, right?
Hmm.
Like, does like Bill Cosby, for example, to use kind of an extreme one, right?
Yeah.
Like, his value was high, though he was doing that's tricky, right? Because what is it perception? Like, because he seemed like a good, outstanding person, all this stuff, but there was all this stuff that we didn't know about. We had like a glacier effect, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so, like, when did his? That's a fun question, Matthew.
Yeah.
When did Bill Cosby's value in your mind depreciate? However you want to put that. Was it whenever? Was it the first every single time that he did an inappropriate thing with a girl, or is it whenever it all came to light?
You could say that. I think I would say that it was from the moment that he was inappropriate, like the very first moment, his value
Yeah,
had depreciated,
yeah,
and
it's interesting.
it was just kind of it's not like he was faking anything. I don't think. I guess he wasn't like telling the truth, but it's not like he was like
A form of
faking.
faking,
So yeah, I guess. Yeah, I
right?
mean, but you
I
know
know
what I mean.
it
It's
gets
not like
sense.
he. But
Yeah,
I was just gonna be like, he's not. He's not. He's kind of put on a facade,
right.
and so like to where it looks like he has more worth. It's like, um,
It's like
somebody that
the
some
Incredible Mr. Ripley.
sure.
Oh, it's a movie with Matt Damon.
Oh,
He
okay.
like kind of worms his way by pretending to be like rich, and so I guess it's also like Parasite. If we're going
Oh
to
yeah,
movie
yeah.
both scenes. But if you've seen the Incredible Mr. I think it's Incredible Mr. Ripley. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it
Okay.
out. It's solid. Has a great plot twist. Like
Nice.
a phenomenal. I really enjoyed the plot twist in it. But yeah, it's a super good movie. But to go to the movie, it's like Parasite, right? Um, of Oh yeah, what were we saying? I'm like thinking about
It's
Mr.
kind of
Ripley now.
it's kind of a facade that he puts on. He like
Yeah,
lost worth whenever the first interaction that was inappropriate with somebody else, and then it was a facade that he put on afterwards that kind of
right,
give us a perception of like worth.
right. No, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
And worth might be the wrong word that to use, but I don't know.
It,
I didn't really know what they put in there.
no, for sure. And this is we're not here to like convince each other. We're here to disagree, right?
And and
We're happy to.
and just to clarify, even with that being said, I don't think anybody is worthless.
That's a good caveat. Yeah, that's really good. Thanks for saying that. And then
Yeah.
also earlier you said that you don't think people should be treated differently.
Yeah.
Um, so like I'm gonna break this into money real fast.
Okay.
Okay, and then you help me understand where I'm wrong. Okay. Um, so today I got a paycheck because my work doesn't do direct deposit, which is silly. But you best believe I knew when I walked in and the secretary said, "Good morning, Justin. It's a good day today. Your check is in your box." From that moment until 4:45 p.m. today, whenever we deposited that check on my wife's phone, I knew exactly where that was, right? Whether it was in my box or when I moved it out and took it into my laptop case, or when I took it into my truck, or when I took it home, like I always knew where that was, right? Versus, I picked up a quarter 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't pay you $1 billion to tell you what town that quarter is in at this point, right? I have no clue. Why? Because they have different worth, right? I do get paid more than a quarter every 2 weeks, right? That is some insight. Us ministers don't make a ton, right? But we make more than a quarter every 2 weeks.
Not much,
But so right. So when it thinks about like worth, though, like those are worth two different things. Thus, I treat them differently. Like I don't. It's hard to separate that in my mind. Like I think that's true with every single thing, whether it's monetary value or whether it's sentimental value. Whatever something's worth to you dictates how you treat it.
Yeah, so I guess I go from like yeah, I mean like again, I don't know if I would put worth
Sure.
in there.
Which is I'm sorry for writing on that.
No, it's okay. Like I just like I said, I don't know what better word to use, but I would definitely separate the worth of like somebody to worth like the worth from a dollar,
Right, yeah.
because I'm using those very like differently,
Right.
And I think that as society we treat people differently, but I try not to, like myself. And so Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to you because I don't think I was like. I guess I don't. I don't think that it's the same thing. You know.
Like you're kind of like saying, yeah, if that is what I said, then that would be a great retort. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Like at that point, you're like, I'm not speaking on behalf of whoever that guy is.
Thanks for strawmanning me. I
Right, yeah.
fundamentally disagree.
I fundamentally hate being strawman. Oh, that's so funny. That's silly. Yeah, so I guess that's a good point. And I think I need to figure out what word that is. What word you mean instead of worth. That would benefit the conversation. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a word too. Let's see. Saying humanness, value.
Well, your humanity doesn't decrease. You know.
Yeah, that's a fair way to say it, right? It's like people. What about okay? This may not mean what you say, but like people deserve different levels of respect, maybe, which I think is true. Like I agree with that. Like, because there's different levels of respect. I can respect you as a human being, which means that you have certain to use the Constitution, right? You have certain unalienable rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. However, if you are a person who's hurt somebody I loved a lot, right? Like I'm not going to treat you the same as if I'm meeting LeBron James.
Yeah.
I'm not, because in my opinion, you've deserved different levels of respect.
Yeah. Okay. I think respect is a good one, but because I think it covers like all the things that I wanted to cover, without getting caught up in like the semantics and stuff of
right, which
the word
it's so
worth.
hard not to in a debate, right? Like
Yeah.
every word carries weight.
Yeah, but I think respect is a good thing. And you know, like, man, just to get off like the subject for a second, I always hated growing up. You have to give respect, or what is it? You have to earn respect. Respect is earned.
If you want to, I always feel like if you want to get respect, be the first to show it.
See, that was completely different from like what I heard growing up.
Sure.
It was like you have to earn respect.
Isn't it sad that we heard different things?
It is sad.
Even though we're brothers.
Which I agreed with it. I remember like because I used to go to church, and so I was in the youth room.
The good old days.
Yeah, and we were in the youth room, and some dude was talking about like you have to like. I'm not gonna respect them. They haven't earned it, you know, like
right,
or something like that. And I remember like talking to like one of the like deacons or something at the church, and I was just like, I completely disagreed with that. Like I was sitting right there, and I was like, I just turned over, and I was like, that's completely wrong. Like, no, you give respect until they lose it. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna keep going to like American ethics here, but like innocent until proven guilty, right? Like I think that I like that because it gives respect to the individual, right? Like we're gonna give you a benefit a little bit of your humanness and like what we believe about humanity, right? And I think that's really cool. And so yeah, I like that you said that a lot. You start with respect until you lose it.
Yeah.
Like man, yeah, because like man, just imagine. Like, especially if someone has to earn, I think that sets you up for different baselines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you're walking up to me. Let's say someone is classist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have someone walking up to them and this person's in a suit, their hair is freshly combed, you know, they've got gel in it, everything, you know, they got the whole thing, you know, and it's like, oh, I'm going to shake this person's hand. Or from 6 feet away now, I'm going to like give them a nice little, what's up, you know? Versus whenever we see someone standing on the corner that says, you know, they're holding a cardboard sign and we avoid eye contact, right?
Oh man, yeah, that's I think we talked about that a long time ago. Yeah. I was listening to something and they were just kind of talking about it, and I like make an active effort every time, like, you know, like a lot of people over in my side of town, you know, they hold up signs that say like God bless and all this stuff, or like bless you or something. I don't know.
Welcome to Texas, yeah.
Yeah, and but you know, I always just try to like, you know, like give a little nod or like a wave, make sure I'm like acknowledging their existence. I'm not just like ignoring people. I think that's the worst thing that you can do. That's worse than like I would bet. I don't know this, but I think I would go as far to say that like somebody that's like houseless would appreciate like an acknowledgement of their humanity more than they would for somebody ignoring them while they drop something under their cup.
Yeah, that's bluntly said and well said. And I actually like I know that that's true. Like I know this because of conversations with people that are houseless.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not speaking out of something that's hypothetical. I didn't read a book about this. I mean, I have, but that's not where I got that from. Like this is from hanging out with people on the streets, and they're like, oh, like it means so much to be seen when someone waves at me. That's more valuable than $1, at that point. Because even for me, like if you have three options, and your three options are ignore them completely, give them a wave, or give them cash. In all reality, the most helpful thing is to give them a wave.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't especially if they really are houseless, they're almost certainly struggling with an addiction of some kind, right? And like you'd be hard pressed to find a city doesn't have meals provided, plus public transportation provided, plus churches that are helping, all that kind of stuff. You'd be hard pressed. I haven't heard of those cities yet. Maybe it exists in America. I don't know. But there's already avenues in place. There's things that already exist to provide for those things. And so by providing money, a lot of times you are providing, the proverbial rope, right? And that's like literally the best. Wow, we were really off.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, but it's still good.
Yeah, is one of the best things you can do is smile and wave, right?
Yeah.
Roll down your window, give them a high five, like, hey man, like stick it out, or hey, hey, I like you look awesome. I love your shirt. Just some sort of validation. You have the prettiest smile, whatever it is, and just really compliment them like as if you were flirting with them almost. Really, but affirm them, give them affirmations on who they are. Is obviously the best thing would be for you to park and just go and sit with them, or take them with you somewhere. Like those are, but for what we normally have time to do, that's where we're at. But we're not here to educate about that, even though I think that is all good stuff. And obviously that's where I think both of us are quite well educated by the point that our conversations naturally every time. So did you want to say anything else? Like, did you have another argument of this, or did you want to kind of wrap it up about the conversation?
I'm almost done. I just had one more thing, and this goes off of something else that you had said last week after our episode ended. And so I have 3 notes that I took.
All right.
Okay. First line is Justin believes that murdering in self-defense is the most selfish thing that you can do.
Accurate. Still believe it. Just kidding.
The second was a question. So in the Bible, whenever Jesus or the I don't know where it's at. I'm not very familiar at the moment.
Somewhere in the Bible, right?
The guy is getting stoned, and Jesus walks up and he says, only he who is without sin." Goodness gracious!
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Only he who is without sin.
Without sin. That's the first time.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
I've read it before. What do we got? Yeah.
Okay. In that story, I've heard a lot of people say, and I wanted to see if you agree with this. They say that the only person there that's able to toss a stone is Jesus.
I agree.
Okay. Just wondering. Is selfishness a sin?
Is selfishness a sin? Yeah, so this is where we get tricky. I'm trying to decide how much on this hole we want to go. I guess short answer. We should have a debate. We should have a conversation about what sin is. Not now, obviously.
Yeah,
but
no.
A cool conversation about and how that works in the world versus
next Monday at 2 p.m.
You better fundamentally be there. No, I would say, sure. How about this? This is a better way of saying it. If you act out of a mindset of selfishness, yeah, I would say you are in a sinful mindset. Yeah, okay. I put it that way. Is that fair?
Yeah. And the only reason why I asked that was...
Are you setting me up for something?
Yeah, the only reason why I asked that is because you said that Jesus was being selfish whenever he, you said something about he did something for Mary.
Yeah, his first ever miracle. Yeah, was when he turns the water to wine. And he tells. I called it favoritism. I don't think it's necessarily selfishness, but he tells Mary, like, my time has not yet come, but I'll kind of do it anyway because you're my mom. Right? Because she's like, Jesus, do something, which implies that he's kind of done something like this before. Like, why would you come to your, like, 12-year-old son?
Yeah.
Like, the guests aren't getting drunk enough. Okay. Sorry, Mom. I just want to play with my dinosaur. Yeah. So keep going on that, though. What's the...
Basically, what I was just getting at was, like, if you believe selfishness was a sin, and then also if you believe selfishness was a sin and Jesus was selfish in this instance, then do you also, like, how do you compare that with, like, the stone story of, like, if Jesus was able to cast a stone, and then it was just kind of like this long, like, thought out thing that leads back to, like, well, if selfishness isn't a sin, then why is it bad to murder somebody in self-defense?
Right, for sure. And for what it's worth, just because something's not a sin doesn't mean I think you should do it. But that's another conversation for another. It's almost like my Christian ethic is complicated. Hold on. No, but I would, yeah. So I guess, like, quickly, I would say that, like, I think it's more favoritism than selfishness. Right? Like, Jesus didn't decide to, like what he did wasn't necessarily that great for him. It was good for his mom, right?
Yeah.
But also shows favoritism, right? Like, he's willing to do something that is good for his mom, despite knowing that it's, like, not quite time for him to, like, he knows that, like, he should be patient in this, you know. Which is interesting. I think there's more atheists should attack that a little bit more, I think, in my opinion. I just don't hear it enough, and I'm not smart enough to really answer that, if we're gonna be transparent here. Like, I've got some answers, you know. I'm just not. There's for sure holes in my answers, you know. Which doesn't mean I'm wrong. Just means I'm not fully well thought out on it. But yeah, I think that's a great, like, if I did have to give that up, right? If I did have to forfeit that, and be like, yeah, Jesus was selfish. Like, oh, all right, let's go. You know, it's like, if no one had the power, then yeah, no, for sure. I see where you're coming from on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Is there anything else that you wanted to jump in or add?
No, I don't think so. You've been watching The Last Dance, Michael Jordan doc?
No, I haven't.
You're missing out. It's really good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was talking to somebody the other day who was watching it while we were playing Minecraft.
Yeah, dude, it's solid. Like, it is. And what else you got going on? You know?
I mean, Minecraft, Warzone.
I love it.
I was actually in a Warzone game right before we got in this.
Yeah, and, it tells me.
Yeah, and we lost. You know, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I killed like 5 people though in self-defense. It wasn't a sin.
You don't even believe in sin. So what do you know?
I think a good conversation for next time though would be like a little debate over like what sin is, and like what it like. I mean, like, obviously, like, I don't believe in sin, but I understand what the, like, essence of sin is. You know.
Sure. And I think most people do in the Western world.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fun conversation. I think I'll bring a little different light to it than most people have.
Okay. And yeah, do you have any hot takes this week?
Dude, I've got all the hot takes. All right, I'll give you a hot take, and you ready? This is our final little, like, 60 seconds. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Let's go with. I'm trying to pick which one. Yeah. All right. I truly believe this. No, I don't know. I don't have a hot take. Yeah, you caught me off guard. I was just trying to set myself up and talk my way out of it. How about I don't think we've talked. Did we talk about how I don't think Pangea is real?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah,
and I gave you a thumbs down. Why don't you think it's real?
Oh, it's just like, it's like they kind of fit together, and I just don't believe it. I don't have, like, a great.
And you realize it's not just like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, well, if it was, I'd believe it.
Okay.
No, and they're all like, well, we found some fossils over here and some fossils over here, and I'm like, I think you're perpetuating a mindset. And this isn't a young Earth argument for what it's worth. This is, I'm not.
It's just an
I don't know.
ignorance argument.
Oh, technically, we're all ignorant about this. All right, it's all a hypothetical situation here.
I mean, I don't think it is.
There's not overall. It's definitely like a major theory. They're like, yeah, we're pretty sure.
Ugh.
This girl don't know about Pangea.
All right. Yeah, you said that last time too. That's actually in one of our. I think it's in episode 2.
Dang, flashbacks. All right. Well, next time you have to come with a hot take. We'll take turns from now on, and we'll be more prepared, and they'll be better.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for tuning in. Again, remember to check us out Mondays at 2 p.m. And we're going to be putting out videos every week. And so, hope y'all enjoy. Hope you come back. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.